this. They now was like, okay, we're just going to make them with straight lines. And they limited themselves to that because they opened up the flower of life incorrectly. They invented straight lines where even God can't make a straight line because of his rules, their rules of equanimity and balance.
What do you mean by 200,000 years ago?
There's over 130-something thousand years worth of water damage under the Sphinx itself.
Where do you get that?
You can look it up on
Well, I've talked to Robert Schock, who's a geologist at Boston University, and he thinks that there's a lot of water damage on the Temple of the Sphinx, but he doesn't think it's that old. He thinks it's thousands of years of rainfall.
Thousands of years of rainfall.
But that's just after the cutting of the stone, and it's a disputed thing. It's not universally accepted. It's a fantastic theory. But other than that...
Gobekli Temple.
Gobekli Tepe.
Tepe.
Yeah.
You go back there, what they've done with the carbon dating on that in itself is like 14,000 years old.
I think it's 11. It was buried 11, purposely buried, which is the fascinating aspect of it, that the dating is universal through the ground, which shows that it was purposely buried 11,000 years ago. So that would put the construction time previous to that. They don't know, though.
But look at some of the maps that came out of Southern Europe.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Southern Europe, Southern Africa.
Right.
That showed Antarctica in its full,
right,
and how it behaved long before they were able to do a number of things they were able to do.
Right, when they didn't really even know it existed until, I think it was...
Those oral traditions go back 100,000 years.
Yeah.
Those oral traditions don't go back, 6,000 or 5,000
So what do you
years.
think happened?
Mankind, well, okay, let's unpack this. If we are 98.7% identical to simians, right?
Right.
And there's only 1.3% differentiation, who's more evolved? We're consider ourselves to be more evolved. But you look at the simians, they have 48 chromosomes. We only have 46. Where did that change occur? Where did we get this new understanding? And how did we lose two chromosomes, even though we're 98.7% identical and behave just like them? There's that 1.3% differentiation, whether you want to call it the Anunnaki or some other influence that acted upon us. But there's been a change within our DNA and our structure. And we were given, the Sumerians were given their number system. That's where the 1 × 1 = 1 came from. And their system of straight lines or the Platonic solid. So my thoughts is the individuals that wanted us here to whatever work, whatever manipulation they did for us, they wanted us to have a system of measurement, but something that could not contradict, not giving us the full picture. So they gave us a limited scope where we can measure small areas, but we would never need the larger areas. We'd never need to be able to move out in space because we were engineered for a particular reason. And those stories, you go right back. Every civilization has similar stories. The Hindus have those same stories. The Africans with the Dogons,
Yeah.
I think, same story. All of these stories proliferate around the entire globe in the ancient traditions. But what did the Catholic Church do? They went through all of these areas and destroyed all of those books, destroyed all of that information. Why? What
Just
was
like the
purpose?
Taliban blew up the Buddhist statues.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did we destroy all of the Native Americans, all of their information? What was the purpose of it? There's a dumbing down that's happening.
Well, it's also a forced compliance, right? Comply with the new ideology. Whoever's in control, whether it's the Catholic Church or the United States government in the 1800s that prevented Native Americans from speaking their native language. Yeah. Now, if you're correct with this concept of a sun ejecting particles which eventually over billions of years form planets, and then